He was one of the first experts to point at what happened with Kirana Hills during Operation Sindoor. He spoke about it in great detail on republicworld.com a few days after Operation Sindoor, and he's one of India's finest military strategists, defense experts, and he's joining me on republicworld.com once again. Major Gen Rajiv Narayanan, AVSM, VSM. He's a professor of practice, he's a strategic thinker, writer, and he's also a visiting fellow at CLAWS, and he teaches at the IIT Madras. And today, I'm specifically speaking to him as someone who knows China really, really well. Before I get to the China question, General Narayanan, what we spoke of, I think it was about 2 months ago, is being acknowledged by the Western media, late as always, first in denial. And finally, they seem to have found some pictures and proof of us hitting Kirana Hills. Um, what do you say to these people?
There is a saying in Hindi, Der aaye durust aaye. But to tell me that you've taken out a shot which was 2 months ago and try to tell me that it is there today, I'm sorry. The weather clears up a lot of things and it becomes very difficult to look at a hit about 2 months later down the line. Grant the enemy also something, he would have done something to cover up that hole, because we had spoken of a nuclear cook-off, so the
Yeah,
boron protectors would also have been put up there. So I don't think that is the latest.
yeah,
These are the photographs they would have got long ago,
correct.
which were shared to me by my friends from Pakistan who were not so friendly with their regime
Uh,
on X. So
wow.
these days, they have not yet started speaking, I find, the Westerners on Chagai Hills,
Why do you
which
think?
is sad. The Chagai Hills also is a strategic nuclear warhead location of the Pakistanis.
Hmm,
That is also where they have conducted their tests,
yeah,
which initially they used to do the limited tests they used to do in Kirana. Then they converted it. See, uh, you always hold certain strategic reserves of your nuclear warhead.
yeah,
You will not keep it all in one place.
correct.
One is Kirana, the other is Chagai.
Yes.
Both have been hit, both have been sealed. So he can't use those nuclear warheads.
Hmm.
You have also targeted, if you remember when I spoke to you, the locations where they keep their missiles and the locations where their air capable missiles are kept.
Yes.
Essentially, the F-16s, the JF-17 and Mirages that were converted.
Hmm.
You have targeted them also. The biggest of them, I'm still waiting for that,
Hmm.
the Nur Khan, which we spoke of.
Yeah.
That was the hub of the communication center. That was the nuclear command and control center made by the Americans, the latest technology of the Americans, which was supposed to be capable of taking a nuclear strike, failed at the first attempt by a BrahMos strike.
Fantastic. And we're ready.
Okay. Having
Uh,
handled these issues,
uh,
let me give you something where not only the Americans, the Chinese are erring, the Israelis have also erred,
mhm.
the Iranians have erred, the Israelis have learnt it from us and they have used it at Fardo. See, any nuclear capable underground command and control center needs air. You can't survive.
Yes.
Okay. So there has to be a ventilation available. So what the Russians call maskirovka is how do you camouflage that? It has to be a natural camouflage, which is there 24/7, 365 days a year, which is natural. So you will, when you see it also, you will not think that it is a ventilation shaft.
Hmm.
But if you give me something which at some point of time my satellite picks it up, I will know exactly the location. So
Yes.
you just can't put some foliage there which dries off.
Correct.
That was the ventilation shaft you hit.
Yeah.
And it just destroyed that. That was the ventilation shaft also in Fordows,
Correct.
underground nuclear thing, which the Israelis hit.
Yes.
We taught them.
So that's
See,
now becoming a global template.
yeah, no, see, the issue is how to camouflage.
Yeah.
It has to be naturally camouflaged. I'll leave it at that, not tell more.
Yeah.
It has to be camouflaged in such a manner you can't live without it.
Yeah.
If I'm going to stay underground, I need air, I need oxygen. You can't survive on oxygen tanks there.
Hmm.
There is a generator, there is an AC vent which will be there. You have air conditioning running. Where are you keeping that air generator? How is it running your AC? How is the vent? Where is the outlet, inlet for your air?
Hmm.
What is the outlet for your waste?
Hmm.
So there are multiple things that you got to keep in mind when you design and do this.
Yeah.
Okay. So to cut the story short, they had not camouflaged the ventilation shaft.
Hmm.
And with Navik, you get less than 1 meter accuracy for BrahMos.
Yeah.
Very accurate. So they won't, it's not that the errors won't be there, but the errors are very minimal in our Navik, which gives you the footprint over the Indo-Pacific. Over the Indian Ocean, today over Asia,
Yeah.
over Indian Ocean area, it gives less than 1 meter accuracy for the military.
Hmm.
That's very damaging. Less than 1 meter means you hit a tank. So that is how you have hit that and taken them out.
Yeah. Now does the
So
ceasefire add up? When you look at all of this, does the ceasefire add up?
it was not, we have not said ceasefire.
No, no. I'm saying the panic. Why even the
Of course.
Americans panicked?
Of course. See, there is a false message going around today that through Chinese satellite imagery, Pakistan got to know that you were activating some strategic asset.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was not the case. Pakistan was threatening to go nuclear.
Yeah.
And that's when gloves were off and the military was told, teach them a lesson they'll never ever forget in their life.
Yeah.
And that's what happened on the night of 9th, 10th.
Yeah.
And when that happened and the nuclear bluff was called and most of their warheads they couldn't assess,
Yeah.
and quite a lot of them got damaged. In fact, even the Navy took out their Malir air base, and
Yeah.
for almost 5 or 6 days they kept having earthquakes in Karachi. So a lot of their missiles got cooked off. And it was the Saudis who first contacted us and then the Americans. We said, we don't talk to you. There's no go between. He comes to the DGMO, begs for forgiveness and asks for it. Because there had been a lot of foul language he had used earlier with the DGMO. And that's how we said a pause. So Op Sindoor is still a pause. It has
Yeah.
not been called off.
Correct.
But you notice that after that, they have never used the nuclear card ever.
They haven't.
They have nothing left.
Yeah.
And the man who said six Rafales finally exceeded to five of the Paki planes having gone down. That was his F-16s he was referring to.
Yeah.
That is a world record, 315 kilometers.
Yeah. Yeah.
S-400.
Yeah.
So some people were asking how was it S-400 was so effective with you and not as much, because we destroyed the Turkish Bayraktars also,
Yes.
which to some extent had done a lot of damage in Russia.
Yeah.
And you deployed those weapons. You upgraded all your legacy weapons also to modernize them to the current standards. Like the L-70s is 50s, 1950s version.
Yeah.
The Su-23 is 70s version. Everything was upgraded, connected to radar, homegrown radar.
Yeah.
You had your Akash, now you're getting your Akash Prime and Akash Next Generation, NG. And for all this, one man, APJ Abdul Kalam, who started the integrated guided missile development project for India way back in 84. And that was all supposed to be with homegrown technology. There have been many slips and stumbles and follies and foibles, but you're reaping the benefits 41 years down the line today
Yeah.
of what was started then. And the world is looking up and acknowledging. So when I would say when Rahul Singh mentioned three nations,
Yeah.
he didn't mention the third nation. Pakistan was always there. The
Correct.
three more nations, Turkey, China, and of course the US of A.
Oh,
See, south of Satluj, everything deployed there, the air defense and everything was US. Apart from Noor Khan, command and control center, south of Satluj was complete air defense grid. Everything given latest the ATP and Q radars and everything was theirs.
yeah.
North of Satluj, everything was Chinese.
Correct.
We destroyed the ground stations and the complete communication centers.
So I
And
want
then he also
yeah.
tell you, also he didn't tell you how did he know that you were getting it.
Yeah.
That means you also were hooked on to that.
Crazy.
You also were hooked on to that and you knew that he is beaming those. See, a satellite cannot beam anything unless there is a ground station from where the communication grid spreads out.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
the ground station is the essence. It comes down to the ground station and from there the communication grid goes. So it would come to their ground station, come to the hub, which was the Noor Khan command and base, the command and control center. By the way, anecdotally, Noor Khan was their air chief marshal in 65 war.
Yeah.
That's the name of the base has been named in his honor,
Correct.
Noor Khan base, otherwise Sargoda. So
Yeah.
when you destroyed that and the complete land communications along Pasrur and Kasur and all that Malir means there was no communication available. That was the other reason why they went because nobody could talk to anybody. How do you pass orders?
Correct.
How does the army headquarters pass order to anybody? The complete grid was destroyed, sir. Then we talk only of air. Along the entire length of LOC and the IB in the J&K sector, IB was looked after by the BSF, LOC was looked after by the army. Bulk of the Pakistani command posts, their bunkers, the ammunition dumps have all been destroyed by the artillery, mortars, tanks, missiles, shoulder-fired missiles, everything destroyed. Essentially, the entire defenses, most of the defenses of the Pakistanis along the LOC and the IB of JNK have been degraded.
Yeah.
So you don't find any of the Pakistani army people or DGISP making strong statements about it.
Correct.
The Chinese are getting worried
Yeah.
because their equipment towards the north have been reduced to rubble. The Americans are getting worried because their equipment to the south has been reduced to rubble. The F-16, we all know during Balakot, was downed by a MiG-21. They accepted it late. Here he is accepting five MiG F-16s downed in the air. And the 5-week saga of F-35 at Tiruvananthapuram.
Yeah.
That doesn't augur well for Lockheed Martin.
Correct.
So I wonder what new equipment they will offer for the MMRCA. Because otherwise they were giving the same F-16, F-18. F-21 is a slightly upgraded version of F-16 only. So
Correct.
they have nothing new apart from this. So suddenly you notice that on these issues, the Americans are slightly on the back foot and getting worried.
Yeah.
15 countries are asking India for BrahMos.
Yes.
But the main worry is excluding Cambodia, Laos, and I think Thailand or one country. All the other ASEAN countries are wanting BrahMos.
Hmm.
That's a big scare for them because one already is there.
Correct.
Philippines already has.
It's
Because
interesting that Cambodia and Thailand are asking for it.
at the moment they were on the back foot, but I think they will also ask for it. They permitted the American warships to come on a visit there.
Yeah,
Chinese were not happy.
exactly. So I wanted to, because you mentioned BrahMos, the recent testing of the Akash Prime, right?
Yeah.
Where you're hitting two moving targets and in the skies, I mean, in the hilly regions, right? It just gives you in the mountainous terrain that added edge. And the fact that you did this testing in Ladakh, the messaging was clear. Whoever had to get the message got it, obviously China, right? And then you have to add to that this new airbase at 14,000 feet, right? Neoma. Um, while things are changing in terms of relations, of course, there seems to be a thought. I don't know whether that is, you're a China expert, you should tell me. But how are we how are we placed vis-a-vis China today, given what role China played in Operation Sindoor? How careful are we?
We are very careful because though the Chinese army has, PLA has pulled out from the LAC, they have not gone out of Tibet or as yet back to barracks.
Yeah.
They are still outside. We are still there in full strength. See, his biggest problem vis-a-vis India, uh, what he had, the troops he had, the Western Theatre Command has got equivalent of two corps.
Hmm.
He calls it the group army. So two group armies he has.
Yes.
As far as Xinjiang province itself was concerned, he
Hmm.
has four divisions there.
Yeah.
And Tibet has three, you could say, composite brigades.
Correct.
That's a term our people will understand better. He calls it the combined arms brigade. It's a composite, what we call as a brigade group. All three brigade group deployed.
Yeah.
When we had deployed more troops, one corps complete had been deployed against us, which is still there from Sichuan, Western Theatre Command. He's left with one corps, and you have four strike corps today. And the way Pakistan is today, one strike corps is more than adequate to look after it because opposite Pakistan also we have adequate reserves within the holding corps to be able to hold them. And he has made the folly, she has made the folly of activating his eastern seaboard completely and annoying Russia. Now, in that, you've already got your BrahMos there, your Su-30s are there. You come and test your Akash Prime and it is very successful.
Yeah.
He is more concerned.
Yeah.
He has what? HQ9, which you destroyed.
Correct.
So, what does he have? So, he will be scrabbling around to see what can I do. And it is in this backdrop you got to see him reaching out to you
Hmm.
to gain time.
Yeah.
See, when Niti Ayog, Jaishankar went there,
Correct.
it was blunt talking. He
Yes.
said, what are the objectives of SCO? How can you have double standards?
Yeah.
And any country which is affected by this has every right to respond.
Yeah.
So now they are very worried. When Modi comes there, Modi ji goes there for the leaders summit. What change will he give to the anagram SCO like he destroyed the BRICS? The
Hmm.
whole anagram is changed.
Correct.
It is not country based now, right? Building resilience, innovation, and cooperation for sustainability. Where is Brazil? Where is Russia? Where is India? Where is China? Where is South Africa? Nobody. So, BRICS, slowly you might find, becomes an architecture which brings in the global South. Then he is worried about SCO. What? Otherwise, SCO is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. This was also China used to think they control BRICS, that he has shattered.
Yeah.
Now, when he comes there, he changes that anagram and brings it something else and brings out certain other points which countries might like. Of course, Pakistan and China may not like it. So, a very strong message has gone to China, and that is why you suddenly find the same similar message was
Hmm.
given in the Quad foreign ministers meeting to Trump,
Yeah.
that the victims and perpetrators of terrorism cannot be held as equals, because he was trying to bring back the hyphenation between India and Pakistan. Suddenly, TRF is proscribed by the US.
Yes.
It doesn't come through the anti terror group. You go there straight. Okay. And what does China do? He
They
agrees.
condemn. They dump them.
He agrees. Both have dumped him.
Correct.
Okay. So, in this, Niti Aayog can only propose, but full marks to them. They have kept it at 24%. That there is a reason for that. The moment you go over 25%,
Yeah.
then you get a member on the board.
Oh.
The moment you keep 24% and below, China cannot have any member on the board.
Sir, I want to give a context to this because a lot of our viewers may not know where Niti Aayog suddenly came from. I'm quoting, there was a report in Reuters a few days back saying that Niti Aayog has proposed that Chinese companies can take stake up to 24% in an Indian company without any approval being required. The spin that they, I think, tried to give is because these days Reuters is controlled equally by China and America. So, not really the Trump administration, but the sort of deep state, right?
Reuters is controlled by Rockefeller.
Yeah.
He has bought it off, and Rockefeller at the moment is George Soros' man.
Yeah.
Right. So this leftist is trying to spin.
Correct.
But the whole issue, why, see, the reason is, as long as you don't have a director on board from that country who has invested the money, you
Hmm.
don't need to take anybody else's concerns, because
It
your
works for
directors
us. It works for us. The money keeps
work for us.
coming, but the control is also with
Yeah,
us fully. It's
yeah.
not
But
okay.
the Chinese never like that. No? They
Yeah.
want 26% or more.
Right.
That is the reason why they go for it, because they get a person on the board of directors, then they can control the policy.
Oh,
Find out whom you can buy off, buy them off, and your director is the go through, and then you can control the policy of the company. So you
fantastic.
have kept them below,
Yeah.
essentially, that you cannot control my policy. My policy is my policy. You give the money, I will use it the way I want. You will not dictate to me how to use the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So will the Chinese like it? I don't think so.
Okay. Do you see do you see a recalibration, sir, at all? I mean, in this
No, no, no,
no,
no.
no.
Not at all. No.
Huh.
See, the fact is, yes, he is for, by force your neighbor.
Yeah.
He never was my neighbor. I agree entirely with what the CM Arunachal Pradesh said.
Tibet was unable.
India doesn't have a boundary with China, it has a boundary with Tibet.
Correct.
Okay. So that is a fact. But he has come to your border. You have to deal with him long term. Never look at short term. You have to deal with it long term. In that, you say, okay, 24%, come up to 24%. Nobody needs to take anybody's sanction, because you don't control the policy.
Hmm.
Right. So, uh, India is not reassessing anything. You are hedging everywhere. You have shown the book to the US and said, take it or leave it. This is what I'm doing. If
Hmm.
you're saying you're going to uh, hit me with tariffs, most welcome. Go ahead. The biggest worry for them is the tour to the global south that PM Modi did before he hit Brazil also.
Yeah.
You have a whole lot of deals in Africa.
Yeah.
You have uh, Ghana was left and Namibia was left. You touched both. Trinidad and Tobago, Argentina, you're already in talks with Bolivia, Peru, you're having deals. So suddenly USA finds, fine, you may not, you have proven in Op Sindoor that given the right environment, maybe slightly delayed. I will give you the technology. Op Sindoor, 80% was fought with our technology.
Yeah.
Rest was yours.
Hmm.
The second worry they will have is there are reports coming out that the MOD is planning to roll out a quantum communication grid for the armed forces, including satellite communication.
Yeah.
No country has rolled it out, is it?
Yeah.
And that by 2030, the critical civilian infrastructure like your fintech and others will, your air travel, rail travel, all these will come under quantum communication.
Huh.
They'll start rolling it out by 2030. There's a lot of work going on quietly on quantum computing, AI, and everything. And then the worry was that US is going to link their account to stable coins, which is a
Yeah.
type of cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
and then link it to the dollar and then force people to buy their treasury bonds linked to stable coin. So I think, yes, was it yesterday or day before, RBI quietly speaks that they are looking at linking the rupee to an Indian stable coin.
Hmm.
So we didn't, don't need your dollars. We
Correct.
link a rupee to a stable coin,
Yeah.
to treasury. So no, these are the kind of hedges that the Indians are doing. See, you've done your FTA with UK. The PM is going shortly sometime to UK to sign the deal. And you are doing almost completed the deal with 4 EU countries: Norway, Iceland, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein.
Yeah.
You're already in talks with France, Italy, Greece, and Cyprus.
Hmm.
So you're effectively breaking away the EU. And while you have not pointed it out, that sanction which EU is trying to do on Nayara and Gujarat, I call it biting their own nose to spite their own face. Firstly, these are the biggest suppliers of diesel and aviation fuel to EU.
Wow.
Not even South Africa, Saudi Arabia. You are the number one supplier today. Okay, 4 lakh barrels per day. So you say, fine, I don't give you the aviation fuel and others. Will their aircrafts fly?
Hmm.
I don't think Saudi Arabia or the OPEC will cover it up.
Yeah.
They tried it when they sanctioned Russia, when they opened up in 22 against Ukraine.
Yeah.
They went to Saudi Arabia and, like, old kings, okay, start giving me oil, extra oil. They said, take a walk. There are international laws, rules, and regulations. We have already signed contracts with various countries. We will not renege on them to give it to you. Who are you?
Yeah.
You decided you will not take from Russia. I'm not giving you that much. That is the story for this. People don't know. I don't think that person there also knew what he was talking. I'm sure this is because they are very keen to play good cop, bad cop, and blow hot, blow cold. Since he was uh, succumbing to what we had pushed and proscribing TRF and others, so he must have asked
Hmm.
the EU and NATO to
Yeah.
start speaking this. And
Yeah.
he would have told EU that, okay, I will give you the oil and gas, I will give you aviation fuel. At how much cost? US has told NATO countries, you will buy it and you will give it to Ukraine. You will buy it and give it to Ukraine. NATO countries suffer.
Hmm.
And like blind fools, they are just going.
Yeah. So finally, so I mean, we've covered most of the points on the China question. Um, whatever China's been trying to do in the recent past, I mean, the kind of statements that came in with the Dalai Lama, of course, we tried to send a strategic message, to China, and him being taken on a jet, etc., to Ladakh. Now, all of that. Uh, Obviously, it's part of a design to keep that heat on China. Now, on the LAC, how do you see India bolstering its security apparatus on the back of Operation Sindoor? A lot of interest around that subject.
You had already secured it completely. It's a very strong grid that you have already out there. Immediately after Galwan happened, we lost 20 people. Of almost a week after that, we found a picture of a brand new cemetery
Hmm.
at the mouth of Galwan,
Hmm.
143 new graves.
Wow.
And the person telling in Chinese that these are the martyrs of Galwan. So for our 23, they lost 143. And there was ruckus amongst the veterans in Beijing because we gave the full military honors and mentioned all the names of the 20 people.
Yeah.
They didn't name a single people.
Yes.
Can you believe it that the families, they were cremated, stroke, buried out there. They haven't even been given their urn.
Hmm.
Which parent or wife or brother would like this? They would like to have a look at the last look at their near and dear one's face.
Yeah.
And how are you treating a person who's give? See, as far as the soldier is concerned, fine. We will say it was wrong, this was wrong, but he was given an order, he went there.
Yeah.
He's died for you, and you have not honored him. How different are you from Pakistan's Musharraf, who refused to honor the dead in Kargil? Much later during Olympics, you permit one person to carry the flag and tell him he did great.
Yeah.
You named, till date, you have named only 5 or 6 people. What about the rest? So he is actually on a back foot. He tried to come after that in December at Yangtze, which is in Ladakh sector. It's a very dominating height. They got thrashed very badly out there.
You're talking about now, December?
No, no.
Then, correct.
Then
Yes.
tried again at Yangtze and we were thrashed very badly. After that, they never have come forward.
Hmm.
You had captured quite a lot of people, including a senior colonel, which is a brigadier's rank.
Hmm.
And then they had a flag meeting and they were all given back and said, try next time and we'll show you what it is.
Hmm.
They never come up after that. They're very scared. You see, that single child policy also scares them. The single child policy implies that they have no concept of pensions. So a single child has to look after his parents and 4 grandparents. That is one person looking after 6. He gets married. If his wife is working, then 2 people looking after 12.
Hmm.
If his wife is not working, then one person looking after 13.
Hmm.
He doesn't want to bring a child in. See, people do not realize while Communist Party of China rules China, China is not a communist country. It's an out and out capitalist country. In a communist country, you're looked after from womb to tomb. Here, you pay through your nose from womb to tomb. It's not cheap. The
Correct.
cost of living is so high. I was there for about 10 days in Sichuan, Chengdu. Uh, USI had a MOU with the Sichuan University. So I went to take classes on international relations, especially India, China, India, US, India, China, Pakistan triangle and all that to their undergrad and grad students for a
Hmm.
week.
Hmm.
The professor who was with me
Hmm.
as my liaison, his kids was, he said, I can't afford my education for my kids in Chengdu. They
Wow.
were with his parents in the outskirts in a rural school. He says, I can afford that fees. I can't afford the fees. That is how costly it is in China.
Hmm.
Okay. So, problem with China is, of course, now the economy is in a tailspin totally. So, that boy doesn't want to fight. Will he die? They have been even year before last. And, yeah, year before, no, 2024 also, there was a 2024, there was an article in the PLA mag, daily, which was
Mm.
removed after 7 days, where they have said that the PLA is not ready to fight.
Wow.
And today, after what they have seen of their equipment in battle with the Pakistanis, will that common soldier of the Chinese have faith on his equipment?
Mm.
Okay, JF-17 is not in use by them, J-10 is used by them, PL-15 is in use by them, all
Mm.
their radars and air defense systems are in use by them. They depend on those. They were told that these were the cutting edge ones,
Mm.
reduced to scrap.
Correct.
So China is also, and today there is a tremendous power struggle going on.
I wanted to ask you that. That's my last question. What is a post Xi Jinping scenario going to look like?
See, Xi Jinping has made a lot of mistakes, and the two big mistakes he did was a uh, frog marching Hu Jintao out from that Congress and elimination of Li Keqiang. Leaks are coming out that this was ordered by Xi Jinping himself. But I have been telling right from day one that these people in a he's been a swimmer,
Mm.
and to tell me that he drowned in the swimming pool when all his bodyguards are around, even if he had some cramp or some heart problem, the guards would have taken him out. So it's a tall story to say that he died of a heart attack. He didn't. They killed him. Like the 301 hospital in Beijing is the VVIP hospital. And that is also the VVIP jail.
Mm.
All padded, nothing left there for any chance for anyone to commit any suicide. And then to tell me that he committed suicide there is also a tall story. That means you eliminated him.
Yeah.
So after that, the first person to raise the revolt against him was a princeling, a retired major general from the PLA, a political commissar, Liu Yuan. Now, Liu Yuan is the son of the erstwhile chairman of the Communist Party when Mao was there, Liu Shaoqi. And during the Cultural Revolution, they had difference of opinion. 68, he removed him. Mao became the chairman himself, and then he killed him in jail.
Mm.
Now he gathered all these, Liu Yuan gathered all the princelings. Every November, Xi Jinping used to go and address, but this time everybody got ganged up against him. He
Mm.
never went. That was the first sign of weakness of Xi Jinping. When people all gathered together, he hesitated and didn't go to address them. After that, along with that, the blunder that he made was he touched the serving defense minister, Li Shangfu. Li Shangfu is the protege of the person whom Xi Jinping always looked upon as his elder brother, blood brother, Chang Yuzhia. General Chang Yuzhia is the vice chairman in the CMC. He is the one who had, just imagine, he was 10, 11 years old. His father is purged. People who were talking to him didn't talk to him. His mother, to protect his sisters, separated from his father. As a young kid, you don't understand why mother has gone away.
Mm-hmm.
Father is alone, shunned. Chang Yujia's father was also his dad's compatriot. He was also purged. He's 2 years elder to him. He is the one who held his hands and supported him through that time, and that is why he always called him his blood brother. But he made the blunder of touching his blood brother's protege
Mm.
because Chang Yujia, when the restructuring was done, the General Armaments Department was broken up and you had the Equipment Department which had come up in its place.
Hmm.
Chang Yujia established the Equipment Department, and when he moved out, his protege Li Shangfu was brought there. So
Hmm.
when you arrest Li Shangfu and say there is corruption in the Equipment Department, you are pointing a finger at Chang Yujia.
Hmm. Hmm.
When he struck back hard. Today, Xi Jinping has no control on PLA. He has no control on their equivalent of IB, which is the Bureau of Public Security, that is their IB, and the Ministry of State Security, which is their RAW.
Hmm. Hmm.
Taken control of complete thing. And he said, I'm the boss, which is acceptable by Hu Jintao. And Wen Jiabao is the one who has come up because Hu Jintao is a little weak and ill. His premier was Wen Jiabao. He has come up, and they have come up at a time when Xi Jinping is ill,
Yeah.
quite badly ill. Not that he has had a stroke, he has multiple problems. And but he still has some say in the Communist Party, because while one or two people from the Politburo have been purged, nobody from the Politburo Standing Committee has been purged as yet. And Politburo Standing Committee were handpicked by Xi Jinping as his men.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
there are reports that Tai Chi, who is the head of his security, and this chap Li Qiang, who is the premier, are not listening to him now. Be that as it may, Wen Jiabao and Hu Jintao have tried to bring the previous vice premier,
Hmm.
Wang Yang, who was retired in the last Congress.
Hmm.
Wang Yang wants control of everything. That means he will be the chairman, he will be the chairman of CMC, and he'll be the general secretary. For your audience who doesn't know, the chairman of the Communist Party holds no power. The power rests in the party with the general secretary,
Correct.
and in the army with the PLA with the chairman of the CMC. And Mao had said the power flows from the barrel of the gun. So the person who holds control on the CMC holds it. And Wang Yang has, Chang Yujia has said, sorry, take a walk. CMC is mine, which Wen Jiabao is in agreement with. That CMC is. Essentially, they are looking at, they don't want to have a, you could say, a crisis within the Communist Party or with the public. And they don't want to be seen with a black face. So they want to give Xi Jinping a face saver, that he stays as the chairman.
Got it.
And that you have a general secretary and the chairman. So they have created a structure. They want to go back to the collective decision making, no single man. So that is the reason why when Wang Yang was said to be saying that he wants all three together, they have said no,
Got it.
collective decision making. So above the general secretary, they have a national coordination and policy committee where you will all meet and decide and do the policy making. And for the as far as the military and security is concerned, Xi Jinping himself had started this National Security, I think, Council or committee which he was heading. So they wanted to be a multifaceted thing where the CMC people also come in and the Politburo
Hmm.
Standing Committee also come in and National Security Council. So there is a consensus and a collective decision making. Now, how far this will go, because there's a lot of fight going on. Uh, there is a person in the standing committee who has always been with Xi Jinping. His claim to fame is that currently he was the director of his office and now director of the general office of the party,
Hmm.
Ping Shuijian. He is Xi Jinping man. So Xi Jinping is fighting for him to be the general secretary if Wang Yang is not agreeing for him. So this power struggle is on. They were hoping that before this, in August, they have their meeting at the resort by the Hay. Before that, something happens. Let's see what happens. But the problem is, the people are coming out on the streets against the Communist Party.
Correct.
While yes, they are also saying Xi Jinping should resign. They don't want to see him anywhere. They don't want the Communist Party. Period. In his own place from where he gathers his strength. Like there are three places from Xi Jinping clique is there. Shanxi, which was his birthplace, and from where his dad was also purged and sent. Then Zhejiang and Fujian, where he
Yeah.
had birth.
Yeah.
Fujian, I saw on their uh, web, there have been mass strikes by the people. Enough is enough. They have surrounded the Communist Party office, gherowed them, said,
Hmm.
we don't want a Communist Party. We want democracy. And in that democracy, we don't want Communist Party at all.
Hmm.
And slowly it is gathering steam. So that is where Wen Jiabao and Hu Jintao are worried that if they don't bring out something in a hurry, you
Yeah.
might have a problem. But history speaks for itself. Right through from kings and everywhere, minimum it takes 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And somebody weakens and goes out, it takes about 4 to 5 years for the turnover. And the last we have seen when Mao was removed, 4 years of the Gang of Four.
Yeah.
76 till about 79, 80 when Tang Xiaoping was able to take. And now this turmoil and people going against them, we must be looking at protecting ourselves geoeconomically till we are able to wean away our dependency from China.
Yeah. Fantastic. I think very interesting time to be watching the developments, on the global south front, and especially in China. Next few years will be critical. Thank you, Jal Narayanan, for speaking to me. Lovely talking to you as always.
And
I'm
I
going
will
to,
just give
yeah,
one last
sure,
point.
sure, sure, please.
You are looking at a situation today which is very similar, not exactly the same, very similar to the situation after the First World War. Uh, After the First World War, the great powers were in decline. There was only one power which could, growing power which could support them, which they didn't take the support. And that is why the Great Depression, after about 10 years, took place and it lasted for 10 years,
Yeah,
29 to 39. 19 was when the First World War finished. You're facing a similar situation today. The four economic giants today, US, EU, when you take it as a whole, not individual,
yeah,
China,
yeah,
India.
yeah.
And the other three, we which were controlling the world before, are in steep decline.
Yes.
And the only power who can save them today is India. And that is why they want a government which will agree to their diktats.
Correct.
They know they can't survive without you.
Correct.
And that is what gives you the strength for your strategic autonomy, because you have risen up despite them.
Correct.
So they don't have any tool to twist your arm. Unlike the manufacturing hubs, which are China, Japan, South Korea, Germany, France, their dependency is on export. They don't have that much of internal consumption, equivalent to what they produce.
Yeah.
And that is how US, which is totally a consuming country, can
Yeah.
twist their arm and say, I won't buy this and I'll put tariff and I'll do this.
Yeah.
To you, it doesn't make a difference because as of today, your internal consumption is 64.1% of your GDP and
Correct.
growing. Your manufacturing is 17% of your GDP and growing. You know that whatever you grow, bulk of it can get consumed inside. So
Yeah.
you're able to stand up to your strategic autonomy because you're economically strong. Op Sindur has told you you're military strong, and that gives the diplomatic heft to stand up to them and say, look them in the eye and say, you will be, accept what I tell.
Absolutely. That's what a fantastic ending. I mean, uh, such beautiful captions I can give to this entire podcast. So many takeaways. Thank you. Thank you, Jill Narayanan.
Thank you.
And so beautifully put, and one of the finest minds on strategic affairs. Jill Narayanan, look forward to our next conversation.
Sure, sure, sure.
Thank you.
Most